Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here with my first of two college football bowl game recaps here, and what a game I just watched here. I believe what this bowl game, the Gameabove Sports Bowl, Toledo facing Pitt. 6 overtimes. Toledo takes down Pitt 48-46. This game lasted what, like 4 or 5 hours. I mean, I ain't complaining about great football, because it was excellent football to watch. There were a few times in overtime where you thought, oh, Toledo, they beat Pitt, but there was a holding penalty, and then Pitt, they said was short, but then he was in the end zone, and then we got more overtimes. It's just such a great game. Toledo, this was just insane from the start. So, I believe Pitt at one time scored 18 consecutive points, if I'm not mistaken. 18 consecutive points. I thought they'd run away with this game, but it was 30-20, and then they throw a pick six to the fat man. I mean, you may not think bowl games matter to some teams, which sometimes can be true, but this game mattered to these two teams. Like, and the Toledo Rockets are 3-time today Gameabove Super Bowl champions. But I just didn't think Toledo could recover from the emotional toll of thinking it won twice, only to be told they hadn't won. But this is a game that'll make you say, there are never too many bowl games. You get games like this that go to 6 overtimes. That game is up there for probably the dumbest games I've watched, and I wouldn't want it any other way. You got everything you wanted. That's why you gotta love college sports. Just more watchable. It's an awful couple days for the bowl games aren't good anymore. Crowd, where you got that 5 overtime game with San Jose State and South Florida, you get this 6 overtime banger. And with Pitt, man, 7-0, and they lose their final 6 games. It was a great start to the season. Jeez, fucking hit my computer. But with Pitt, 7-0 to 7-6. And it's not like they can fire Narduzzi, because he has a big contract extension, and that runs, I think, through like 2030. And it would take too much money to buy him out, so. But I just don't see how you can start 7-0 and lose your final 6 games. Just bad. After the first overtime, after the team before you scores a touchdown, if you score a touchdown, you go for 2. I don't care. You go for 2. The coaches who do not go for 2 in the first OT after the other team goes up 7 should be fired on the spot and not allowed to coach overtimes, or just not coach overtimes in general. The announcers talking about how they want to go home, especially a color commentator. A color commentator? How about you shut up? If you don't want to be there, don't be a commentator. Like, yeah, there are opt-outs, transfer portal, backups, but who cares? These bowl games have been good. I think this is the best bowl game I've recapped so far. These goofy bowl games have been so damn good to watch. But Pitt, when they kicked the field goal, I believe it was that first or second overtime. There's so much. What was it? I believe it was the second overtime. They were short of a touchdown. I believe at the 1, they overthrow a pass. It's 4th and goal there at the 1. Why do you not go for a touchdown there? I mean, it's a bowl game. Come on, Coach Narduzzi. It ain't a bowl game. It's not like you're playing a playoff game where you want to make sure you get points and send it to another overtime. No, it's a fucking bowl game. Go for 2 there. Go for the win, excuse me. Not just for another overtime. I mean, it's 1 yard. You had Desmond freaking Reed. And you're like, no, let's be conservative, keep the field goal. What an idiot, man. But I want to talk about Desmond Reed. He was excellent, I thought. 32 carries, 165 yards, 5.2 yards per carry. 1 touchdown for Desmond Reed. Desmond Reed was fantastic, man. Also had 5 catches, 15 yards. Duggar, they actually played 2 quarterbacks. David Lynch play a walk-on. He was 10 for 18, 65 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He got replaced, I believe, midway through the game. They put in a Julian Duggar, I believe a freshman, if I'm not mistaken. Or at least his Pitt debut. He went 7 for 13. 72 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Besides the interception, which was a pick 6, he had a pretty good game. He also had 21 runs, 88 yards, 4.2 carrying a touchdown. Kenny Johnson, 3 runs, 28 yards, and Jules Goff, 7 runs, 31 yards. Raphael Poppy Williams Jr., 3 catches, 36 yards, and a touchdown. Gavin Bartholomew, 1 catch, 19 yards. Jules Goff, 3 catches, 32 yards. Jake Overman, 1 catch, 11 yards, and a touchdown. And Kenny Johnson, 2 catches, 17 yards. But it was mostly the run game that really got Pitt going with Desmond Reed. And some runs here from Kenny Johnson and Jules Goff, and obviously Duggar, especially with the RPOs. And they dropped to, just kind of crazy, 7-6 to end their season. It's a tough loss. This was a great game to watch. But it's just Pitt ends their season. 7-6, Toledo 8-5, beat 2 Power 4 schools. But clowns, man. If you don't like that, you don't like Narduzzi football, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. Like, Narduzzi has to be one of the worst coaches I've seen. Like, he's a terrible coach. And Bartholomew airmails a tight end from like 5 feet out. Yeah, good thing Narduzzi kicked that field goal from the 1 yard line. It's insanity. Like, it's what happens when you go for a tiny field goal instead of running it from the 1. Yes, running from the 1 yard line doesn't guarantee you a touchdown, but oh well. I would rather do that than just settle for a fucking field goal at the 1 yard line. And who says they're gonna run it? They could have maybe done an RPO or something, I don't know. But like, oh my god. Just go for the win in double overtime. But the momentum did change when that pick 6 happened. They were starting to pull away, pick 6 happens, all the momentum's gone, and then Coach Narduzzi coaches a disaster class. Deserves a damn pink slip. But yeah, Toledo ends 8-5, wins their bowl game. Tucker Gleason, 26 of 50, 336 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, had 9 runs, 34 yards, and a touchdown. I thought Tucker Gleason had a solid game. I believe he had 2 turnovers. Better than that, he had a lot of pressure to deal with in this game. Made some excellent plays with his legs. What a great game from him. They didn't run the ball much. Jarquez Stewart, 7 runs, 39 yards, 5.6 a carry. They really threw the football a lot. But Junior Vanderross III, this guy's going to be a hell of a player at the next level. He had 12 catches, 194 yards, 1 touchdown. What a hell of a player Junior Vanderross is. Like, I think he can be a good player at the NFL level. I really do. Jerwan Newton, 8 catches, 84 yards, and Anthony Torres, 4 catches, 42 yards, and a touchdown. And to even get this game to overtime, they kicked the field goal to even get it to overtime. So what a hell of a season-ending game for both these teams. Toledo ends 8-5. Pitt's probably disappointed, ends 7-6 after starting 7-0. But that was a wild game. Credit both these teams for putting on a really great game. 6 overtimes. Day after Christmas. But yeah, that's all to say. Till next time I'm out. Peace, and I'll be back here for Rutgers and Kansas State.